Welcome back to the show, folks. We are back with another drive time, but this time it's the Shankly Sessions. We're going to go through a Liverpool update. Absolutely beautiful morning here in the sunny southeast down in Wicklow. Traffic isn't too heavy, it's all good. So said we jump on and shoot a little Liverpool update video. Lots of stuff coming out today and yesterday and stuff like that. Lots of news and stuff like that. But we start with the DM leaving the club, the destroyer Fabinho. Remember, he came in 2018 and never looked back. Was absolutely sensational for us. Started off a bit ropey in that first game against Arsenal, but after that absolutely took off and was sensational for a number of years there. Probably the best DM in Europe. Won everything with Liverpool. Very sad to see him go. Was looking at the highlights in the video package that was put out yesterday by the club and all. Man, he was absolutely sensational when he was in his pomp and on his prime and stuff like that. He used to just take people out and win balls back and destroy any kind of progression that the opposition teams had against us. He was absolutely sensational. Just goes to show you how difficult it is to replace players like this. Sometimes they're just irreplaceable and stuff like that. And he was absolutely brilliant. So sad to see him go. Wish him the best of luck going to Saudi, of course. Hope he absolutely lights it up out there, and he absolutely will. What a player he was for us. Going to be tough to replace him. Not sure if Lavia is the answer. Could be the answer down the road a little bit, but maybe a little bit young at the moment and stuff like that. But it was sensational when we got him in. Michael Edwards just swooping in and whipping him off Man United. I was sure that weekend he was going to Man United, and whatever Michael Edwards did, he swooped in and we got him, and thank God we did, because imagine how good United would have been if they had got Fabinho into that team and stuff like that. So yeah, sensational. We wish him well. Best of luck for Fabinho. Now we have two Capitans, two new captains, a captain and a vice captain. Let's start with Trent first of all. I think this is a great move by Klopp. I don't know if everyone's seen the video or anything like that, but the video package was sensational, where he walks out onto the pitch, kind of nearly takes him by the hand one side and breaks the news to him and stuff like that. And Trent looks absolutely shocked by it and stuff like that, which is kind of weird and kind of nice as well, in a kind of, you know, it wasn't contrived for the cameras and for the club. It was kind of, there was something wholesome about it and stuff like that. We know how much Klopp loves these players, there's no doubt about it. Sometimes even to a fault, as we have seen. But I think in Trent's case, I think this is great. I think if he had another 2 years under his belt, I think he'd be captain. And it's brilliant as well to have that Scouser in the team, you know, following on from Gerrard and Carragher and all these Scousers that were in the team. Absolutely brilliant, Robbie and all, you know, so absolutely brilliant stuff. Delighted for Trent, vice captain. Technically captain in waiting, let's be honest. Give it another 2-3 years, Trent Alexander-Arnold will be the captain of Liverpool, so brilliant. Virgil, this is one that's an interesting one. Let me know your thoughts on this. I want to put out from the outset, I'm not absolutely against this in any way. We've seen he's been captain in the team during the pre-season and stuff like that, so it's no shock that Virgil was nominated as captain. But let me know your thoughts on this. I mean, sensational drop off last season, pretty poor by his standards, so needs a big season this season. So I wonder, as Klopp, if part of it is kind of a mind game kind of thing, to give Virgil that kind of confidence that he needs, that lift, to get that other maybe 15-20% back out of him again. So that would be pretty cool if that's the case. But certainly there could have been other guys out there. Robbo would be a good one to look at. He's always very good in front of the cameras. Always very good dealing with the media as well. Even during bad performances, he comes out and he calls it as it is, stuff like that. He's quite pretty vocal on the pitch, likes getting stuck in, leads by example. The only thing I think with Robbo at the moment is, what's the plans there really? If we're looking at going to a back three, is he going to be the left side central defender? I don't think so. Klopp is already looking at more central defenders and stuff like that. So if Levi Colwell had to come in, or, you know, Vardiol or whatever, where does that leave Robbo in terms of the team? Would he be used kind of sporadically, maybe in different formations, where we revert back to a 4-3-3 or something like that, or what way would it work? So you really need your captain on the pitch. So that kind of might have been the thinking in terms of taking Robbo out of the equation. If you look at Mo Salah, been pretty consistent even last year in a poor season for him, 30 goals or whatever it was in a poor Liverpool side for most of the season, so still performing at a very high level, Mo Salah. I think the only thing with Mo is, from a captain's point of view, I think maybe is he just a little bit too nice. Is he the kind of guy that's going to get up in people's faces? Is he the kind of guy who's going to, you know, bring that energy to the team in terms of that, dare I say, kind of psychological physicality, if you like, that you need from a captain on the pitch? I'm not sure whether Mo has that in his locker. Everything else absolutely stinks of captain, and in a great position on the pitch as well, where he can influence a lot of things as well. So maybe that's the case. Maybe Klopp was looking at it and going from a personality was. Now, having said that, when you look at Virgil's personality, you know, doesn't stink of outwardly captaincy either. Like, you look at Virgil a couple of times last season where he's had to deal with the media in terms of poor performances, kind of cowered away and hid in his shell a little bit. He's kind of very soft spoken and calm, relaxed, you know, obviously brings a certain energy on the pitch and stuff like that. But the one thing we spoke about last year was when we needed people on the pitch directing traffic, doing all that kind of stuff, Virgil was one of those guys last year that went missing. And there was quite a few times where you got a bit of finger pointing and stuff like that and all, trying to apportion blame rather than fixing the issue. So that would have a little concern for me. But overall, I still think a good choice. I still think it was the choice to be made. The choice for me, really, and it's who I probably would have went with, even though I know people don't like it and they say that this kind of position can't really influence the game out on the pitch and stuff like that. Alisson Becker, for me, has been probably the most outstanding player we've had in the last, say, 3 to 5 years or whatever, since we signed him and stuff like that. His performance, his consistency, even in bad seasons where we've just missed out and stuff like that, he's been the key player and stuff like that. But again, do you want your goalkeeper as the captain? And would you see him as the captain, and could he influence the game enough? But absolutely outstanding. I mean, if you think about it and you look back on last season, you look at the captain and the vice captain that's just been named. I mean, Virgil had a pretty poor season, and Trent, until he was inverted, was having a horrific season. So it's interesting to see from Klopp's point of view, is he using these nominations, not that they're bad nominations or the wrong nominations, but maybe is it just to up that confidence and up that kind of steely grit on both these boys on the pitch now by giving them the captaincy. Alisson, for me, would have been a great selection. Robbo probably just finds himself in a difficult situation where there's a change of formation, and is he going to slide in and sit into that on a regular basis? Who knows? But that's just my thoughts on the captaincy. Let me know your thoughts. I'm not against the two boys going in, not by a long stretch. I think Trent is a fantastic decision, and I think we'll just have to wait and see what Virgil brings. Can he bring what we need? And mainly what we need is the elevation of his performance at the moment and stuff like that. So that's my thoughts on it. Liverpool also being linked with a move for Vardy. I don't see this happening, because I don't think they're going to pony up the money that it's going to take to get the boy. I know Leipzig are pissed off at Man City over the medical and various things and all. He literally was practically standing there. Shades of Nabil Fekir, remember a few years ago, he was literally standing there with the jersey, and all of a sudden there was a massive pullback on it. So we'll see what happens there. That's interesting. Also disappointing news as well. It looks like Levi Colwill, I know we weren't exactly there or thereabouts, but we were very interested in him. Obviously he's re-signing for Chelsea. Looks like he's going to get a big contract there and stuff like that. Sensational talent, boy with a huge future and stuff like that. And you look, on the face of it, why not stay with Chelsea? Why not? You know what I mean? He's a good lad, Chelsea background, has a sensational season with Brighton. And I just wonder, is this the issue with the Brighton-Chelsea relationship? Caicedo deal, I wonder, is that the stumbling block in the issue? I wonder if Brighton want Colwill and Chelsea were going, no, forget about that, he's not for sale, we're keeping him, after he had such a great season at Brighton. I'm sure De Zerbi was all over him, and him not going back there obviously creates a headache for De Zerbi and all now, because he was practically their best central defender. So I wonder, is that why Brighton are panning off the Caicedo deal with Chelsea? And I wonder, would they even trigger it if it hits the 100 or the 95 or whatever, or are they just absolutely pissed at Chelsea over the Levi Colwill situation? Let's see what happens with that. But the problem here is Caicedo is left in limbo now, so what's going to happen to that boy, you know? Klopp being asked about the Mbappe links, and he just laughs it off, just like the rest of us. Absolute pure nonsense. Talk of a loan deal and all sorts of stuff. None of that is going to happen with the money that's involved. Absolutely crazy. And I don't even, this talk of a 1-year loan deal before he goes to Real Madrid, why would Liverpool in any way, shape or form facilitate that situation? because we're clearly not signing the boy, because the financials are just monumental, and it's just not our world. I mean, we're arguing with Southampton over 5 million, so we ain't signing Mbappe, so we need to get real. And even on a season-long loan, I don't know what it would give us. And the fact that we have a plethora of talent up front. Up front is one of those areas where I'm not worried about at all, with the amount of options we have, and the players are all fit, and they all seem to be hitting their peak now. If you look at that Leicester game the other day, they were all on fire. And it'll be interesting to see Bayern Munich coming up on Wednesday at 12:30. That should be a great game. I'm sure we'll feel two strong teams against them as well. I'm sure Bayern will have a strong team out as well. It's really getting close to the start of the season now, so it's not a time to be messing around or trying more stuff and stuff. We've only 2 games left in pre-season, and we're inside 2 weeks before we face Chelsea at the Bridge, so that's going to be interesting. Talk on McAllister and Dominic Szoboszlai, how they have settled in, and it's been described as seamless. And I think that's fair to say that. Obviously Dominic unfortunately rolled his ankle, so missed out I think on the middle game and stuff like that. But both boys, since they've come in, they look absolutely at home. Watched that Leicester game the other day. I have to say I've been a big, I haven't really liked that away kit, that green and white kit and stuff like that. But I looked at it the other day against Leicester. It's kind of growing on me a little bit. It does look the part and stuff like that. It doesn't look as silly as it looks, say, on the rail. Of course, the boys always make the strips look sensational anyway. So, but yeah, it looks alright. It could be one that I will invest in, just see who else we get in the door and stuff like that. But yeah, it looks really, really nice. As I mentioned earlier, Levi Colwill looks like he's going to sign that big deal with Chelsea, which is disappointing. I would have loved to get that boy in the door. Absolutely sensational talent, and I'm sure Chelsea wouldn't have let him go cheap even if he was gone. Had a brilliant season. He was so much a part of everything that was good at Brighton last year. So difficult to break down. His reading of the game for a young lad, you've seen him in the 21s as well, but his reading of the game, his positional sense, his distribution, the boy has it all. Absolutely sensational. Lavia we'll talk about. Obviously that deal is coming close now. They're probably hemming and hawing over another 5 million or whatever it is. Not going to be a big deal. Liverpool are going to throw the money down. I wonder if the Fabinho confirmed exit was just the trigger to make this deal happen and stuff like that. I'd be surprised before the weekend if we don't get a confirmation of Romeo Lavia to Liverpool. Here we go, or done deal, or whatever it is. I think we just have to get it done now. I don't think there's a whole lot of other options out there. But it'll be interesting to see him coming in late. Obviously he's not going to be in the time for the Bayern game, which is in 2 days or a day or whatever it is. That's not going to happen, but it'd be nice to get him in for the final game so we can take a look at him, see how he gets on. I had expressed concerns of Trent in the 6 on his own without a pivot. Looked a bit out of sorts and stuff like that, so really do need to get a DM in there to create that pivot if that's the way we want to go with Trent. Let us know your thoughts. That's as much as we have at the moment. Liverpool updates at the moment. Still interested in a couple of players in the market. Still have a feeling we need maybe 2 or 3 still in the door. Let's see what happens. Hasn't been much sighting of Thiago at this stage. He's still nursing that injury, and he's on the road to recovery and stuff like that, but we haven't seen him all pre-season, which is concerning. Takes an option out. But let's see what happens. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Virgil van Dijk and Trent Alexander, new captain and vice captain.